I feel like this movie is not as highly regarded as most of his other ones, because I think I saw on IMDb. I used to go on IMDb and thought it was absolutely dog shit, a terrible website with a terrible interface and a terrible look, which it kind of is. But it kind of is better now than I remembered it. So, because I was looking it up initially when I was looking up Boardwalk Empire cast lists and things like that, trying to figure out where I recognized all these different people from. But it's got like an 83 Metascore. I think that's from Metacritic. Doesn't IMDb have its own ratings though? Because I know, 7.6 out of 10. That seems a little low. Popularity 58 down 3. I don't know what that means. Like, how much... Can I click on Quentin Tarantino's name and bring up all of his things and see what's rated the highest? Kill Bill will probably be rated the highest or some fucking shit. Let's just open these. Not Dust from Dawn. Oh, this is a comic. I was like, did he announce Kill Bill Volume 3? What the fuck? Inglorious, Death Proof. Death Proof is definitely will be his least. Are these the fucking films? How do I... Where's director? If we highlight director, he's got 21 director credits? He directed some CSI episodes? What the fuck? Gravedigger 1 and 2. Well, there you go, in 2005 too. Oh yeah, some of these, they list everything, so some of these shorter ones. ER, one there. 4 Rooms, I know that like a quarter of that movie was directed by him. Jimmy Kimmel Live, there you go. Sin City, special guest director. We're opening them all up. I want to see them all. Delete this. Okay, Reservoir Dogs only has an 8.3. Pulp Fiction only has an 8.9. Jackie Brown has a 7.5. That's disgusting. 8.1 for fucking Kill Bill. 8.0 for the second part. I think I like the second part was good. Just a 7.0 for Death Proof. 8.3. 8.4. 7.8. So I don't know. Maybe it's not that low. It's just IMDb has a wacky way of rating things or something. I honestly have no idea where it ranks. It's such a weird, like, it's so going for one thing, and it does the one thing so well, but it kind of hinders the other things in the movie, but it's so good at that. Didn't Nate make a video about this movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Did he? I feel like maybe he did, right? Was it a Weagawa? I watched the Blind Wave reaction right afterwards because I wanted to see some of the scenes again. I wrote Blind Wave there as I was thinking it. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I didn't have to type the whole fucking thing out. Yeah, he does. Happy ending, bad history. I don't know. I'll have to watch that fucking video again, I guess. This Joe Rogan shit pops up every time. I did watch the Half in a Bag again. I remember watching that. I feel like I did watch this when it came out. I almost certainly did. Don't remember it, though. Only 13,000 views. Poor Nate. But there you go. Miller was right. I'm going to be spoiling the whole movie because there's no way to talk about it otherwise. And if you don't know the spoilers for this movie, I don't know how. But, it's about the Sharon Tate murder, but then it doesn't happen. It's like Inglourious Bastards where they do an alternative history thing, and she ends up not getting killed at the end. She doesn't even end up getting saved. Now, I knew that about the movie, and it was really the only thing I knew about the movie besides the Bruce Lee thing. So I expected it to be like Brad Pitt at the end goes to like the ranch and kills like every person there, because that would be how Quentin Tarantino does it. Django kills every person in Candyland at the end of Django Unchained. At the end of Inglourious Bastards, they're just raining down fire on everybody in the theater. Kill Bill kills everybody all the time. This happens a bunch, and especially his wacky movies, which this seemed to be. It didn't seem to be Jackie Brown, where it's much more reserved and reined in. But that's not really what happens. It's just the 3 people that show up to kill Sharon Tate which they're not even showing up specifically to kill her. It's just anybody that's in that house, apparently. And they get distracted because Leonardo DiCaprio pisses them off, and then Brad Pitt kills them. Well, him and his dog kill 2 of them, and then Leo's character kills the last one. Doesn't matter, but they only kill 3 of them. And it's very interesting because the whole time you're expecting kind of this Quentin Tarantino thing, which is violence around every corner, some big bombastic shit is happening all the time, but it never really comes. Because, like Jackie Brown, this isn't really set in a crazy world until like the end when it is, which is a switch. At Jackie Brown at the end, it never becomes that. But like in all his other movies, it's like a wacky reality where people get killed all the time. It's still grounded in some sorts of realism because I don't know how he does it. It's just his style. But where was I going with that? There's some crazy shit throughout, and then there isn't crazy shit throughout, and it feels like almost normal. Oh, and the reason for that is obviously because these guys aren't mobsters. They're just like, it's just an actor and a stuntman, and the stuntman is a World War II vet, so he can kill people at the end when he needs to. So yeah, it sort of makes sense in the setting for it only to happen at the end. But this movie is very big on performances. I think my 2 favorite performances are Leo and Al Pacino, but Brad Pitt is really good as well, of course. I feel like a general thing, because I haven't seen many Al Pacino movies besides The Godfather, and I don't think he's ever done a character in any way similar to Michael Corleone after he did Michael Corleone, because he's so reserved and like stoic and quiet almost, until he's very loud, where my wife sleeps and all that. But I feel like Al Pacino gets criticized a lot for being crazy and going over the top in his performances, but I fucking love this shit. I don't think people necessarily criticize him in this film or in The Irishman for doing this, but in The Irishman, the scene I used to play every stream about 1.5 years ago about when he is yelling at all the people in his room about how they fucked him over and how he's going to jail and how he wants to kill them all. And it's like just this over-the-top, like, insane, how is this old man not having a heart attack doing this performance scene? And it's kind of similar in this, where just the way he says things, like when he says the 14 Fists of McCluskey or whatever the fucking fake movie Leonardo DiCaprio was in was called. Maybe that's a real movie. I don't know, though. The way he says the title and all this stuff. Just every time Al Pacino was on screen, it was some of the best scenes in the movie. In the tweet, I actually forgot to put him in there. But it's just so good. And Leo is also like that, where he goes crazy in some scenes with the performance thing. I feel like we need to put him in something where they're together and they can just go crazy. Scream at each other or whatever. It is obviously on display when Leo has the scene in the caravan where he's fucking up in the pilot. And he gets mad at himself, and he slowly fucking goes more and more insane and starts slamming shit, and then tells himself in the mirror that he's gonna blow his fucking brains out, and tells himself he's gonna quit drinking, then immediately takes a drink, then throws the drink out the door. It was all it's so bombastic because the scene opens with him flinging the fucking door open and then throwing something at a window. It's just really good. The movie's just really funny as well, which I think is a very big thing about it. Also, everything in the movie is very well set up, where it's like everything comes back almost. They have the Chekhov's fucking acid cigarette that comes back at the end. That honestly wasn't set up too early in the movie, but just like setting up that Rick Dalton hates, which is Leo's character, hates hippies at the beginning, for that to come back at the end is clever. Just every little bit of something like that is kind of hinted at towards the beginning, and I only noticed that after watching the fucking Blind Wave reaction video. But there is something about it that is missing from making it like a 5-star movie, I think, and I don't know how to put my finger on it, because the whole thing is it's teasing you the whole movie that Margot Robbie is going to get killed because Shannon Tate gets killed. And it's playing with that until the end when everything's switched and you realize, oh, it's not happening because it's once upon a time in Hollywood. Like, what if this happened where the Manson family just gets fucking destroyed by a dickhead stunt double who's fucking high on an acid cigarette. The flamethrower is obviously another thing like that comes back at the end that was set up at the beginning really cleverly. But yes. Hold on, Minty seems to have shown up in chat. I haven't looked at chat for a while. I gave up on chat. Did I miss anything worthwhile as Kyle been talking? I saw the hippie tweet, Kyle. You're literally being the people going so true under the madman, how to deal with annoying hippie videos. No, it's completely different because of how they're portrayed. I don't know why he's so obsessed with hippies lately. Do they even exist anymore? Quentin Tarantino, known for his historical biopics. Well, it's pretty obvious. All the marketing was leading up to it. And it's funny because Charles Manson only has one scene in the movie where you would miss it if you didn't know what to look for. But the movie is clearly leading you in that direction of, like, they're going to get killed. Because it's highlighting a bunch of things if you know anything about the fucking Manson murders. Like, this is the house, and then they start doing the crime thing, like, 8 p.m. for the last bit, and Kurt Russell's doing the fucking voiceover. There was also an excellent thing, and the Red Letter Media guys actually complained about this in their movie, about the exposition scene, where I don't even know the actor, but I know it's like a famous actor, and he's just giving exposition about the relationship between Roman Polanski, Jay, and Sharon Tate, and he's pointing out, like, what's going on there. And it's clearly just blatantly exposition for the audience, but it's done so well, and the performance is so good that it's just great. And, like, to dismiss it just because it's exposition, because exposition is somehow bad, is so stupid. Which is actually funny, because I first realized that exposition wasn't always bad when I was, like, 17 or something. When I watched, no, I would have been younger than that, like 15 or 16. When I first watched Inglourious Bastards, and then, like, suddenly, in the middle of a scene, it does one of those cuts. We need to talk about the editing style in a second, because it's for all of Quentin Tarantino's movies, but, what was I talking about before that? Leading you in a direction. Tell me what I was talking to, chat. Because he is a Destiny fan. What else was I talking about hippies with besides this movie? This movie is clearly just joking about the hippie stuff. The Eric Cartman hippie jokes are always funny too. Hippies are just easily memed on. But I also love George R. R. Martin, who is just a hippie, so it's got nothing to do with hippies. It's just how they're portrayed, guys. What the fuck was I talking about? Were either you idiots listening? Probably not. Do I have like 3 viewers? I still have 7 viewers. There are a bunch of fucking lurking assholes in here not saying shit. Fuck. We'll just move on to the editing thing, I guess. The editing... what was I saying? The editing thing... Quentin Tarantino's movies have always been edited like a YouTube video. Ever since Pulp Fiction, when Uma Thurman does the box thing, and the box, like, shows up with her fingers, he always does this weird I was talking about exposition, and how suddenly... I was going to say how suddenly Samuel L. Jackson is doing fucking exposition narration over, like... It's just explaining that film reel in the 30s is flammable or whatever, and that's how Shoshana plans to burn down the whole Nazi regime by setting the theater on fire with the fucking thing. That's what I was getting at there with the exposition point. And I realized, this is great. Exposition isn't just bad because it's exposition. There are no rules in art. Lamau. The editing thing is interesting because there's always like in this movie, there's like a part where Leo tells Al Pacino's character that he says his car's in the shop or something, and that Brad Pitt has to drive him around everywhere. And then it cuts to Kurt Russell, who does narration throughout the movie, even though he's also a character in the movie, so it's just a weird, wacky narration thing. And he, like, suddenly, it's like a freeze frame, and then he's like, actually, that's fucking bullshit. Leo got in too many drunk driving accidents, and they took away his license or something. And that sort of editing stuff, there's other examples of that, but that's the only one I can think of in this movie. And I can't believe I can't think of any from any other movies. But just this weird fourth wall breaking, it feels like a movie, where it's like, it's not subverting the tropes, it's embracing the tropes, like, fully. And it's very cute for that. It's clearly like a celebration of cinema, if we can say that. But here we go. What do you hear? What do you say? Pine Kid is here. Tarantino's endings is like the opposite of Ava in terms of pacing. I don't know what that means. Are we saying Ava has fast pacing at the end and Tarantino movies have slow pacing, or is it the other way around? I don't know. Pacing is a meme. What's your review of No Country for Old Men? I have not seen No Country for Old Men. I've only heard good things, though. Another collection of scenes that were really good is everything to do with the little girl, where she's like really moody and and like it's kind of like Lyanna Mormont from Game of Thrones, but better, and like without the story like playing it up or whatever, where like clearly Lyanna Mormont kills the giant white or whatever because everybody thought she was cute and cool in that one scene in season 6 or whatever. She's only in it for 2 scenes, I think, and it's back to back, and they're both with Leo. Just the first one with the Leo, where like this fucking 8-year-old actress is keeping up with him, is incredible. And it's very easy because child acting is very difficult to obviously get right. But I feel like little girls especially can just play like a moody bitch very easily. Because it's just like telling them to turn their personalities up to like 11. And I feel like it's very easy to be overdramatic in that sense, but it's also like adorable. So when she's like talking about her philosophy in acting, and he's like, "Who the fuck are you, little girl?" And then like they start reading together, and there's obviously a scene where they're both talking about the books they're reading, but they're actually talking about themselves. And she's talking about how the person in the book's a genius, like her, and then Leo's talking about how in this book the character's a fucking washed up has-been like he is. And he starts crying or whatever, and she comes over and she like pats him on the shoulder, and then he calls her like a weird 60s dismissive name like Cherry Puss or something, and she gets mad at that, but then she says, "I'm not going to get mad at you because you're..." It's just a very like traditionally structured scene where you can kind of see where it's going, and then it goes the opposite, but then it goes back that direction with the like, oh, she doesn't like being called that, but she's actually going to be nice anyway. And it's sort of like, what relationship? Like, is she going to like kick him in the balls at some point and run away and it's going to be a funny gag? When it's actually, they have kind of like a heartwarming relationship here. And then that plays into the next scene, because the movie also does things where it just starts showing you scenes from what Leo's filming in his pilot, and it doesn't like... Because sometimes it'll have the visual distinction where it'll be in black and white, and it'll be 4:3, and it'll look like an old TV show. And then other times it'll be just shot how the rest of the movie is shot. It's a very neat stylistic choice, and it takes you like a minute into the scene to realize, oh, this is part of the pilot. This isn't actually part of the movie. It takes you like 10 seconds. I don't know why I said a minute there. But the one where Leo's character does the great acting bit with the monologue, throwing the little girl on the ground and everything like that, is real great too. Also there's the scene at the ranch, which is like Tarantino just doing the big tent scene. I don't think there's another like big tent scene in the movie. Inglourious Basterds was really the movie for that, where a lot of the scenes were paid up for maximum dramatic tension, like when Shoshana's having dinner with Hans Landa. I can't believe I'm remembering those characters' names. And like all the emotion comes out in the last 3 seconds of the scene, where she just like loses it. That's so good. But the whole scene, it's being teased, like, does he recognize her? Does he recognize her? And then obviously the beginning scene of Inglourious Basterds, 50,000 shitty YouTube essays have been written about how well the tension is done in that scene. But the ranch scene in this movie is the only scene in this movie that tries to do that, and it does it so well, where it's like slowly seeing if this old dude is alive or dead. It's just great. He's walking through the thing, and then he walks out, and everybody turns on him. And if you have any historical context for what's going on with the Charles Manson stuff, you realize this is the place, and it's like, oh fuck. But then he gets out of there, and then they slash his ties, and you're like, oh fuck. But then it's because it keeps teasing like the Manson family, scary horror movie villains. They're gonna kill everybody in this movie, all our characters. Only for the characters to just like, only for them to be a farce the whole time, and the characters just never actually in any danger at all. Like when Leo comes out at the end in the bathrobe and is like telling him to move their fucking shitty asshole of a car, and you're like, oh no, he's gonna get fucking killed. These guys have like knives, and the one dude has a gun, but they don't do anything because they're kind of intimidated by an old man yelling at them in a fucking bathrobe. That scene again is fucking incredible by Leo. The way he does it, the lines in there are very funny. It's just real good. But yes. Do I have anything? Oh, the Zoe Bell scene is incredible. Zoe Bell is the stunt woman that Tarantino always used, who he made the lead, or one of the leads. I guess there's 8 leads in Death Proof, unless Kurt Russell is technically the lead. She's the stunt woman in Death Proof, if you've seen it, where she's hanging off the front of the car, where she legitimately hung off the bonnet of the car in to do the stunts. She's like the best stunt woman in the world, I suppose. That's what people say. I thought she was Australian, but turns out she's from New Zealand. Apparently, I can't even tell the difference. Embarrassing. But she has a scene in this which isn't a stunt scene. I don't know if she still does stunts. She's like 46 now. But yeah, she has this. She's in this movie where she's Kurt Russell's character's wife, and she comes out after the Bruce Lee fight. And she, just her like incredible being at 100, like the whole scene, screaming, and every time she says fuck, it lands, and it lands so well. It's just such a funny, great scene. That scene is really good. I love Zoe Bell. She's great. Because she's also in Django Unchained. She's like the one when there's just like this weird person with an oceanic fucking accent in the 60s. When is Hateful Eight set? The Civil War ends in 1850s, right? I don't know American history. It's set sometime around there. It's kind of odd, but she's like the happy girl in the flashback when the gang shows up and kills everybody to set the stage for the whole movie. And then Death Proof, she's the girl that kicks Kurt Russell's face in at the end. I think those are the only movies she has parts in. I don't think she's in Inglourious Bastards. But she's in this one as Kurt Russell's wife, and she does fucking incredible job getting mad at Brad Pitt's character. Brad Pitt's character also may have killed his wife, which is like a thing they throw in there that's really like interesting to think about, because it cuts away before he does anything, but he's holding like the harpoon gun kind of aimed at her, and it completely makes you hate his wife immediately and like wish he was dead, which is fun. It's fun when the old movies, the old media can make you root for an incredibly immoral action because fuck it. Other than that, every scene in this movie is really fucking good. I don't know why it's not 5 stars. It should be. It's incredible. Let me read chat, because I think we might be done here. And there's some people in chat, so maybe we can talk about some other stuff. Shut up, Kyle. I'm so done with your shit. I wonder what Pinekit was mad about. Not Pinekit. Minty was mad about. Poor Minty. I feel his pain as Kyle read that out. Why? What did he say? Tarantino's editing. Did I say ending is like the opposite of Ava's in terms of pacing? Editing. I still don't know if that resonates with me at all. Carl be like, I love little girls for purely character reasons. Well, that's not very nice. Just saying a little weird, bro. He wants a daughter so he can raise her badly so she ends up as a snarky teenager. Planned trauma. Let's talk about Boardwalk Empire. No, we won't. I want to become famous. Somebody banned the man trying to make me famous again. Get banned? End of Ava Robot. Oh, EOE, maybe. Miller, do you ever wonder if Kyle knows he's talking to himself a lot on stream? Oh, most streamers just talk to themselves. They don't talk to chat basically at all. So I think I'm fine in that regard. When is Soprano script? A few days. I don't know. He does it. He said he doesn't just want to talk about Boardwalk because nobody cares. Sopranos vid is coming out. Bonnet. Bitch, it's the hood. I don't know what the fuck cars are called. Don't fuck with me on cars shit. Carl, there's a whole joke in Death Proof about how she's a Kiwi and not an Aussie. Well, I didn't remember that. And they must have cut that out of the reaction video I just watched. Literally no one cares anyway. So I don't know what he's talking about. Did Minty add himself accidentally or on purpose? We're all in chat because of autopilot. Sketchton. The shit talking in this chat is a little much. Well, they're lucky they're the only ones that are always here. It is the bonnet. I was referencing another Death Proof line. Never mind. Oh, no, I haven't actually seen Death Proof in... Wait, is Death Proof the... Yeah, I guess it's the only other one I haven't seen actually twice. Because I haven't seen any of the Kill Bills a second time. I've seen Reservoir Dogs at least 3 times. Pulp Fiction probably more than that. Jackie Brown I watched like 5 or 6 times. Kill Bill and Death Proof only once. Those are the next 3. I've seen Inglourious Basterds 3 times now, I think. I liked it a lot more after each time. Django I've watched twice now, I think. Hateful Eight I've definitely seen twice. And I've only seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood once, I guess. But there you go. How about You Cry About It? To be honest, your Sopranos bit is going to be flooded with quotations and no discussion. Well, good thing the first line is making fun of that. We'll see. Maybe they'll just do that to spite me. Maybe they'll be mad. I think we're done with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Incredible, incredible stuff.